The film begins by introducing a woman named Akira, whose name symbolizes strength and grace. Akira's father is a mute and the founder of a school for the deaf-mute in their area. Her relationship with her family is very harmonious, and she also has an older brother. One day, a woman becomes a victim of an acid attack for rejecting a man's love, leaving her face burned. Coincidentally, Akira witnesses the incident and points out the perpetrator when questioned by the police. As a result, Akira is attacked by the perpetrator's friends, leaving her with scars. Knowing this, her father takes Akira to learn martial arts so that she cannot be oppressed again. On the way home, Akira encounters the men who attacked her again, and her father immediately tells her to fight them. Akira eventually steps forward and beats them all. During the fight, Akira almost gets attacked with acid as well, but she manages to fend it off and turns the tables by splashing the man's face. Unfortunately, this man is the son of someone influential. So when Akira is tried, despite many witnesses to the incident, she is still sentenced and sent to juvenile rehabilitation for 3 years. 14 years later, Akira is seen as an adult, and her father has passed away, while her mother and her older brother named Ajay have steady jobs in Mumbai. At that time, Ajay is coming to pick up his mother and Akira, but Akira refuses and only wants to stay in her hometown. Unable to persuade her, Ajay seeks help from Akira's school principal, where the principal supports Ajay's decision because he ensures Akira's education in Mumbai, and Ajay also has connections with the head of Holy Cross campus. Eventually, Akira and her mother move to Mumbai. Meanwhile in Mumbai, Ajay lives in an apartment with his wife named Silpa and their child. At that time, Akira meets Silpa's younger brother named Siddharth, who also lives in the same apartment. It turns out Sid plans to study abroad to pursue his PhD, and he also works in a social welfare organization called Rentrox. Meanwhile, Akira asks to stay in the school dormitory to focus more on studying. But Ajay disagrees because it would require more money, yet Silpa supports Akira's wish. Upon arriving at the principal's office, Pastor happily accepts Akira. However, the dormitory room is already full, leaving only one room, number 17, unoccupied after a student did the unthinkable there. Although Ajay doesn't want Akira to stay there, she doesn't mind because she needs privacy. The next day, David, a staff member there, takes Akira around to introduce her to the school environment, where there is also a school for deaf and mute children under the campus management. When Akira fills out the dormitory entry form, a student complains to the dormitory guard that their phone is missing. Shortly after, Akira finally arrives at her messy dorm room. After that, she attends her first class. During that time, Nikki, who is a student there, calls her friends to stage a demonstration due to the poor school canteen facilities, and all the students leave the class except Akira. Seeing this, the other students become cynical towards Akira for not being united, so during the break, Akira becomes a target of bullying from them. Elsewhere, the scene shows ACP Rani, who is a corrupt police officer often involved in drug use. Rain also appears to have several loyal subordinates, and Manik is one of his juniors who is frequently given orders. While Manik is driving, he accidentally hits a professor from Holy Cross School. However, Rain blames the professor and assaults him. After the incident, the professor files a case against Rain for feeling unfairly treated, but the professor's efforts are in vain because the officer handling the case is Bapu Rao, who is Rain's friend, so Bapu Rao disregards it. Meanwhile, the students who are aware of the incident feel aggrieved, and they all immediately sign a petition demanding an apology from the police. This leads to a riot between the students and the police. At that moment, Manik appears panicked, but Rain immediately orders him to disperse them before the commissioner arrives. As the situation becomes chaotic, Manik eventually fires his pistol into the air to disperse them. After that, only Akira remains sitting alone in the middle of the road. When the commissioner arrives, Akira directly hands over the case documents to the commissioner. Seeing this, Rain is not afraid of the commissioner because he has strong political backing. During their conversation, suddenly a car speeds by and crashes into a rock, causing an accident. Onlookers assume the driver is dead. While inspecting the car, Manik finds a stack of money in the trunk and intends to report it. However, greedy Rain decides to handle it himself, as he plans to split the money evenly by handling the man's case. When the money bag is unloaded, the man suddenly regains consciousness, So Rain hits him with a hammer and quickly leaves after fabricating the incident. Not long after that, Rain, who lives at Maya's house, his girlfriend, asks her to leave because he needs to make an important phone call. Rain then immediately calls Monique and says that the recent accident has made the news, but another case will soon overshadow it. After that, Monique is instructed to follow the autopsy process to avoid being discovered, and he also instructs Bapu Rao and Rajeshvar to handle the remaining money. At the same time, Maya is seen recording the entire conversation between Rain and Monique in her room with a handycam and rushes to meet her two friends at the coffee shop to inform them about the contents of the recording. Maya tells her friends that she wants to blackmail Rain and take some of the money they stole. However, her two friends do not want to get involved because Rain is an ACP. As Maya tries to pay the bill, she realizes that her handycam is missing. So she asks a waiter there and also becomes suspicious of a group of students passing by her table. After that, the waiter there cannot help find her handycam, but the waiter only knows that the students are from Holy Cross campus. On the other hand, a pregnant woman named Rabia is shown. She is a firm, honest police officer and also an SP. At that time, Rabia meets Rain outside the office, and they converse until Rain receives a call about his voice being in the recording on Maya's handycam. At that moment, Rain feels threatened, while Monique is worried. Rain suspects Maya as the culprit, but Monique manages to trace the threatening phone number to a first-year student at Holy Cross. At the same time, Akira is on the phone with her family, but Nikki mischievously hangs up the call. This angers Akira, who then confronts Nikki to stop bothering her. Nikki refuses and rallies her friends to attack Akira, but she successfully defends herself. Not stopping there, Nikki brings more friends to attack Akira. Witnessing this, Akira quickly apologizes to avoid further trouble, but they mistake her apology for fear and continue to attack her, forcing Akira to fight back, intimidating Nikki in the process. Meanwhile, David is instructed by Bapu Rao to inquire about the mobile number of a female student, but she claims her phone was stolen a long time ago. After that, Bapu Rao, who is observing, immediately provides a list of stolen student phones. Rain, eager to capture the culprit, orders Rajeshvar to go to Maya's house and arrest her. During the interrogation, Rain forces Maya to truthfully answer every question from him, and Maya confesses to recording Rain's conversations on the handycam, which was stolen by a Holy Cross campus student when she went to the coffee shop. Upon hearing this, Rain becomes enraged and attacks Maya until she falls and dies on the spot. Afterward, Rain faces another problem because he doesn't know the name of the coffee shop Maya mentioned. Shortly after that, Rabia is seen handling the case involving Maya after Rain orchestrates her committing the unthinkable. Rabia, being very meticulous, examines all the clues on Maya's face and speculates that someone had hit her until she cried, then staged her death, suggesting there could be 3 to 4 perpetrators. Afterward, Rabia finds no hard disk in the computer and no mobile phone belonging to Maya. Rabia also notices a charger for the handycam, but the handycam itself is missing. At the same time, a postman arrives and presents a credit card bill belonging to Maya. On the other hand, Monique is tasked with gathering more detailed information about Maya, and her credit card bill is handed to him, but Rabia changes her mind and takes back the bill. Rabia then immediately investigates the places where Maya used her credit card, eventually arriving at the coffee shop. At that moment, Rabia also receives clues from the waiter about Maya's 2 friends. Unfortunately, she entrusts Monique to find Maya's 2 friends. Not long after, Rain and his group are seen approaching Maya's friends and forcibly taking them. Afterward, Monique provides false information to Rabia that Maya's friends escaped during the journey. Hearing this, she immediately agrees and does not suspect him at all. Sometime later, Akira is having a casual chat with Seed. When he bids farewell, Silpa invites Akira to have a private conversation. There, she asks her not to pursue any further relationship with Seed because Silpa's family, especially her father, has a negative view of Akira due to her past imprisonment. Upon hearing this, Akira assures her that she will not cause any trouble. When Akira returned to the dormitory, Bapu Rao and Rajeshvar were seen monitoring the dormitory. Soon after, a bag was found in front of Akira's room, containing items belonging to missing students. At that moment, Bapu Rao and Rajeshvar suddenly entered Akira's room. While going through one of the cell phones, they quickly found Rain's number in the call history. Rao then took the handycam and found a video of Rain on it as well. Despite Akira's claim that the items were not hers, she was still detained. After the handycam fell into Rain's hands, he immediately instructed his group to end the case, warning that they would lose everything otherwise. Following this, Rain decided to go to Nazik for a few days. Sometime later, Akira and Maya's two friends were taken to the middle of the forest and were about to be killed there. After one of Maya's friends was killed, Rain suddenly called and ordered them not to kill Akira because she was not the culprit. Before he could finish speaking, Manik's phone suddenly died due to a drain battery. At that moment, Rajeshvar became angry because of the sudden change of plans, so Manik and Bapu Rao eventually left. Rain explained that the theft of the handycam occurred before Akira entered the campus, so she was not the culprit. Initially, Rain wanted to release Akira, but because she witnessed the murder of Maya's friend, he immediately ordered to kill all the eyewitnesses. While intending to return, the car they used broke down, and the nearest mechanic was far away. Thus, Bapu Rao decided to use a bicycle to reach the walkie-talkie signal. Once connected, Bapu Rao immediately ordered to kill everyone. Unfortunately, when attempting to shoot Akira, the bullets in the pistol ran out, allowing Akira to defend herself and escape. At that moment, Rajeshvar became angry with Rain for only seeking his own safety. Not long after, Akira met with the pastor and told him everything that happened. Upon hearing this, the pastor decided to help Akira by calling his lawyer friend to come the next morning and discuss the case together. After that, Akira didn't want to sleep in the dormitory, so she went to Ajay's apartment. There, Silpa's relatives were present, and Akira met her mother. During their conversation, they discussed Silpa's cousin's upcoming wedding, and Ajay secretly gave Akira the rent money for the dormitory. When Akira wanted to talk alone with Ajay, Silpa followed and complained about the expenses they incurred for the wedding, prompting Akira to leave. Afterward, Akira was seen walking aimlessly, while Manik was seen chasing her. Aware of this, Akira called Seed and wanted to meet, but he was busy with his work. Akira then left alone by train, with Manik following her. Eventually, Akira met Nikki and scolded her for leaving the stolen bag outside her room, but Nikki denied doing so, leading to an argument. At the same time, Rajeshvar took the opportunity to capture them all. Afterward, Rain became angry because Rajeshvar captured them all, resulting in Nikki and her friends being released while Akira remained detained. Seeing this, they were unsure of what Akira would experience next. In the morning, the pastor was seen looking for Akira after she was not found in her room and couldn't be located anywhere. The pastor called Ajay, who was on his way to his cousin Silpa's wedding, but Akira was not with them either. Seed, who was with Ajay, found out that Akira was missing and decided to help search for her with the help of volunteers. At the same time, the pastor decided to file a missing person report with the help of his lawyer friends and also included Manik's name in the report. On the other hand, Seed and his friends began searching for Akira but found nothing. As it turned out, Akira was handed over to a mental hospital and subjected to shock therapy by a fake doctor. At the same time, several teams from Rentrox were seen arriving at the mental hospital. When they passed by Akira's cell, they immediately called Seed. Seeing this, the doctor became worried and immediately contacted Rain, after which Rain said that Rajeshvar would come there, and he needed to ensure that the people who came there did not suspect anything. Shortly after, Akira regained consciousness and saw Rani, one of the patients there. Akira immediately asked about the place, but soon the guards came and injected her until she passed out. Not long after, Akira's family arrived and talking to the doctor. However, Rajeshvar, who had arrived there, accused Akira of using drugs. Rajeshvar also fabricated a testimony that Akira had thrown stones at him and told his fake alibi. That night, Rajeshvar recounted how Akira concocted a story that a policeman wanted to kill her after killing two other people. This testimony was supported by Akira's history of entering a children's rehabilitation center due to an acid attack case. After that, the doctor also provided a fake report about Akira's diagnosis of delusion, leading everyone to believe that she was mentally disturbed. Sometime later, Rani was seen accompanying Akira in the cafeteria after Rani wanted to always be near her. At the same time, Akira's mother and Seed observed her condition, then they left. Afterward, Rani approached Akira in her cell, and at that moment, Akira asked Rani how long she had been there. Ronnie said she had been coming back and forth to the hospital for 2 years, and if she wanted to leave, it would be very difficult because she had to get permission first. After that, Akira asked for Ronnie's help because they both ended up there because of police actions. On the other hand, Rabia approached the pastor and informed him about the events last month when students celebrated a birthday at the cafe and also the theft case of Maya's handycam there. Rabia also revealed that the pastor's daughter named Anna was the thief and she wanted to see the handycam. Afterward, Anna was called out and immediately slapped by the pastor for being caught stealing. The pastor also testified, expressing his deep disappointment upon finding all the stolen items with Anna. He tried to cover it up by placing all the stolen goods in front of Akira's room, as she was the only one who didn't return to the dormitory. He planned for Akira to give him all the stolen items, then he could say the thief had returned the stolen goods, and the issue would be resolved. However, Akira did not return to the dormitory the next day. After that, Anna came to him and told him what happened that night. When interrogated, Anna admitted to making threats to Rain, claiming she was just joking. It turned out Anna stole to hurt her father's feelings, who was never satisfied with her achievements and humiliated his daughter in front of other students. However, stealing became her habit. Rabia regretted this behavior because Anna's actions had already caused harm and endangered others' safety. On the other hand, Ronnie secretly took Akira's padlock key and immediately tried to open it, but Ronnie was caught. At the right moment, Akira was freed and beat up the guard. Although Akira was still dizzy, she managed to defeat all the guards barehanded and flee. After that, Akira went to Ajay's apartment, where Sealpa was frightened to see her arrival. At that moment, Akira tried to tell her family the truth, but none of them believed her, becoming more convinced that Akira was mentally disturbed. Therefore, they were willing to let the hospital staff arrest her. Fortunately, Ronnie managed to take over the ambulance and save Akira. After that, Akira thanked Ronnie for saving her. However, she had given up on her life because her family no longer believed in her. Meanwhile, Ronnie had an idea to catch the doctor handling Akira to expose everything to the public. Hearing this, Akira remembered her father's will. Without wasting time, they immediately arrived at the doctor's house, and Akira beat up the doctor until he apologized. He deliberately did this because the doctor had accidentally killed a patient during shock therapy, and the incident was covered up by the police. So he had to assist the police in treating Akira at the mental hospital. Akira then ordered the doctor to tell the truth to her family, the school principal, and her campus friends. Unfortunately, the police arrived soon, so Akira fled immediately. After that, Akira and Ronnie now sought out Rajeshvar and finally found him at a club. Akira then took him to the toilet and dunked his face there, took his gun, and hit him. Meanwhile, Rajeshvar's wife was seen calling Bappa Rao and asking for her husband's location. At the same time, Rabia secretly overheard it. Meanwhile, Bappa Rao reported to Rain after feeling pressured while planning his daughter's wedding. On the other hand, Rajeshvar was tied up and threatened, but he still did not divulge any information. Akira then poured out her frustration to him, even though she had done nothing wrong to the police. Meanwhile, Rabia was making a report directly to the commissioner. There, she reported that 3 policemen were also missing along with Rajeshvar. Learning this, the commissioner ordered to find and arrest them. Otherwise, the TV and the press would embarrass the police department. On the other hand, Akira called Seed using Rajeshvar's phone. She asked Seed to bring all the family to the campus birthday celebration the next day at 10 in the morning because Rajeshvar would tell the truth there. Hearing this, Ajay became worried, but Akira didn't care. After that, Rabia arrived and overheard the conversation between Akira and Seed. At the same time, Manik had tracked Rajeshvar's phone and found out his whereabouts were in the vicinity of Holy Cross. The following day, the campus birthday celebration began, and Ronnie was seen overseeing the situation. At the same time, Manik spotted him and decided to follow him to the old church, then he reported the location to Rain. Meanwhile, Ronnie came to tell Akira that the principal had arrived, so she threatened Rajeshvar to reveal the truth immediately. However, suddenly, Ronnie's head was shot by Rain, so Akira decided to take Rajeshvar and hide. Shortly after, a shootout occurred, and Rajeshvar screamed for help. After using up all her bullets, Akira was caught and couldn't do anything. At that moment, Rain instructed Monik to create a false report that they were forced to kill Akira and Rani to save Rajeshwar. Then, Rajeshwar ordered Rain to shoot Akira himself because he was fed up with his behavior that didn't want to soil his hands. Resisting, Rain eventually shot Rajeshwar and instructed Monik to make a new report. Just before Akira was killed, Rabia and her team arrived to arrest Rain, where she and the commissioner already knew everything about the car accident, a pile of money, and other cases. Knowing this, Akira felt relieved because she was finally free. Akira then informed Rabia that Rani was shot when they were about to leave. At the same time, the commissioner called and changed his mind, saying not to arrest Rain and his group because it turned out the driver involved in the accident was the brother of the leader of the largest party in northern India who had been involved in provoking riots in the city earlier. If the truth of the case were revealed, it would cause more riots and endanger many lives. In the end, the commissioner decided to close the case and instructed Rabia to make a false report. After that, Rabia was forced to follow her superior's orders while the commissioner only reprimanded Rain and told him to pretend in front of the media that Akira was a mental hospital patient who escaped and needed to be brought back to the hospital. Knowing this, Akira was not happy, but Rabia explained the actual situation that this issue would cause a national problem. Therefore, Akira had to sacrifice for the sake of many lives, but she still refused and rebelled. Since there was no one left to help her, Rabia could only advise Akira to be patient because she would work on her release from the mental hospital. Hearing this, Akira was disappointed and decided to defend herself by fighting all the mental hospital guards and successfully taking a large knife. After that, Akira stabbed the knife into Rain's thigh and attacked Monik along with Baparao, causing them all to die on the spot due to blood loss. After that, Akira collapsed and surrendered to be injected by the hospital staff. As she was taken out, many people, including deaf and mute children, asked what would happen to Akira. At that moment, Akira answered that she would sacrifice herself for many people. Finally, the report stating that Akira was mentally ill was false, and Rabia ensured that no case was registered for her. Several months later, Akira had started a new life and followed in her father's footsteps, teaching young children at a school for the deaf and mute. At the same time, Rabia wished for all women across the country, including herself, to be like Akira, learning to live relying on their own strength. Moral lesson from the story: never trust a corrupt cop to keep secrets because they leak like broken faucets. And if you get into trouble, make sure you have a plan, or at least a bike.